So I realized this video is actually kind of a throwback because Endgame came out like 2 years ago, but I wasn't YouTubing then, so
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my custom Avengers t-shirt. I paid like $40 million for it. That's why the sleeves look like this. It's very Gucci. Anyways,
I just wanted to share my thoughts about this movie with everyone because I would say it's sort of a unpopular opinion. I didn't like it. And recently I realized one reason I might not have liked it is because I watched too many theory videos. I think the theories ruined it for me because I was expecting certain things to happen. I was just, I went into it with my expectations too high, with all this stuff, and then like, none of it happened. Like, I had seen all this stuff about how, oh, well, in Infinity War they lost because all the six Avengers weren't together. Yeah, the six Avengers aren't together in Endgame because Natasha dies. That is one thing that ruined the movie for me because, not because, oh, I was just so upset that Natasha died. It was because I convinced myself she wouldn't. I even had this joke with my manager that if she died, I would steal the chair that you see in the trailer that she's crying on. So then I was like, oh no. Well, but there's just so much hype behind this movie and so many theories that it was kind of like just overwhelming going into it, having all these things that you wanted to happen, and then the story was just kind of rushed and full of plot holes, and like all the characters were going in strange directions, like especially Steve Rogers. Like, why'd they do that? Also, that could have been because I was shipping Cap and Nat, Natasha and Steve, and then he goes back in time with Pig. Not having it. Tony, I mean, I expected him to die, so it was like, I was pretty chill with that. Don't hate me. And I really liked Nebula in it, because, she's kind of underrated, and it was really cool to see, like, Nebula, not Gamora, like, we got the blue one, not the green one. That was cool. And then, like, Natasha had a actual good send-off, which I know is also, like, most people didn't think she had a good send-off. I am not team it should have been Clint. I liked that they didn't kill Clint because I feel like it was really, Natasha had been sitting around crying for 5 years, and she finally had her chance to save the world again, and they kept her, all the characters they killed off, they kept invincible. Like, these characters weren't killed by anyone. They, like, willingly sacrificed themselves. And they kept their characters strong, and it was really cool. But also, there were different theories about, like, oh, each Avenger represents a different Infinity Stone, and No, that had nothing to do with anything. Also, the time heist in general was just like not played well. Like the logic of it made very little sense. I have to say, Star Trek's time travel vastly superior. Um, and also they low key made Sebastian Stan canon in the MCU, and that kind of scares me. But it was just quite the roller coaster, and like the action was even disappointing. Like, you don't even get a good fight until the last fight, which was also done poorly. Like, the girl team up, as much as it was like, oh, it's empowering, it's fun. No, it was completely just an act of total feminism and made no sense for the plot. And, like, why did they all randomly do that? Another thing is I went in for it rooting for the Natasha orphanage, for her to have like an orphanage or like an apprentice or something there. I mean, we got Tony Stark's daughter, which was cool, but I really felt like I thought this was supposed to be the finale. This was the big one, but then it wasn't that for me, I guess. You know, I know a lot of people love this, and I'm not trying to like hate on the movie because I haven't seen it in a while, and I always enjoy it, but I enjoy it while I am screaming about how much I hate it. So, love hate relationship. But I feel like that's why so many like super mainstream movie series like don't do well because there's just too much hype, and then things are never gonna live up to your expectations. So I'd rather go into something with zero expectations. Like, because I think I did that with Captain Marvel too before I went to see that in theaters. I read the Captain Marvel comic book, which was way better than the movie. And, you know, because she's like dating Rhodey, and then she like has a run in with Rocket Raccoon, which is hysterical. She had a cat. Her cat was Chewie, off of named after Chewbacca, which was really fun. And then Endgame also ruined Captain Marvel because well you got to give them a break because they were being filmed at the same time or whatever. But they really like hyped her up and said she was the strongest Avenger, and then she does nothing, and all of a sudden she's really weak, and it's weird. And yeah, one of the good things about Endgame is Wanda beating up Thanos. Hmm. Such a great moment. And like the humor's great in it. There's a lot of fun stuff. And I feel like there's different pieces of the movie that work, but all together it just doesn't quite add up. And I felt like I had a similar opinion as Endgame as I do The Rise of Skywalker. I know these are both very controversial things to say, but I didn't really like any of them. And yeah, I liked Infinity War better than Endgame, and The Last Jedi better than Rise of Skywalker. So, I said it. I don't regret it. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just a very opinionated person, and if you like Endgame, I'll try to respect you as long as you don't say things like Endgame was the best movie. You can say it was your favorite, but don't call it the best. I try to be opinionated without being like, this was the best movie or the worst movie. I like to say this was my favorite movie and my least favorite movie, because that's less like, oh well, this one is the best. Like, I know as far as like filming and production and all that stuff, Endgame might have been the technically best one, but it wasn't my favorite. And I know Thor the Dark World was not the best one, but it's one of my favorites. So, I like to separate quality from opinions and not try to like, oh, well, this movie is better than that one. Just, it's your opinion. So, it's okay to have different opinions, but don't push them by using certain phrases. Um, yeah, so that's how overhyping movies often make them worse, because you're going with your expectations too high. So, bye. True confidence is being able to say something controversial, knowing that people might dislike your opinion, and saying it anyways, and not trying to hate on them. And just being able to say, I didn't like Endgame, or I liked The Last Jedi. And you should be able to say that in any environment and not let other people's opinions peer pressure you into liking or disliking something. Because I've had that experiences with, like, oh, well, I don't like this. And I was like, I don't like that. But in reality, I like it. I liked it. So, like, just be yourself and be confident, people. Okay, bye.